Welcome to Being Watched. Do you all remember what happened last episode, where John got shot in the gut and narrowly avoided the CIA with Finch's and Carter's help? We pick up there, moments after, with Finch wheeling a still quite sweaty Reese into the morgue, where the attendant gets exactly one line.
There's one tonight. Must be a full moon.
Before Finch throws a bunch of money on the table, tells the man his own life story,
Your name is Farouk Madani. You were the best surgeon in Najaf.
and says all he needs to do is fix John without any questions, and he's golden. So he does, and that's it for Dr. Farouk Madan, the man who saved John Reese's life at his lowest, who I assume became a real doctor like he wanted. Godspeed, person who was really more of a plot device. At least he got one line, so Ramsey Farangala got paid more. John's no longer dying, but he needs time to heal, so Finch set him up with an apartment in this very familiar-looking apartment building. This is the Belnord, a pre-war brick apartment complex in New York that lends itself out for filming, including to hit mystery TV show Only Murders in the Building, where it is the titular building, the Arconia. Here is just a normal apartment building with a secret, as Finch did not set Reese up here for fun. Their next number is also here, the super Ernie Trask, played by David Zayas. He's a charming enough guy.
I'm the super. Name is Trask. I tell you that already?
Twice.
If you need anything, my number's on that lease. The name is...
But he's giving off bad vibes, bragging about his time in Miami as a nightclub mogul like that could possibly be true. Seems to know way too much about his neighbors. Doesn't he realize he's the help and therefore below others' notice? The show goes pretty hard into tricking us into thinking Ernie is a scumbag, starting with the usual going through people's belongings. Because Reese just got out of a super illegal life-saving surgery, he has to take it easy, stay in his room in a cast and wheelchair in a very obvious nod to Rear Window.
Mr. Trask, it's John Hayes in 521. I'm having a bit of a problem.
So Finch has to do it, and he finds some compromising photos in Trask's room, like he's obsessed with a resident. He doesn't get out of there in time, and Trask catches him snooping, and Finch turns around and ducks into the service elevator. Trask is not cool with this, telling the security guard to keep an eye out. This weirdo might be the jewel thief the building is dealing with. Finch is unable to dodge the security guard, but John is on the case, as he plays the man in the chair, set up with access to every device in the building. Now he's the machine. And John immediately finds proof that the security guard is the jewel thief. Here's photographic evidence. I'm zapping it to your LG Optimus T. Use this to blackmail him into letting you go. The security guard lets him go, and then they call an anonymous tip and get him arrested. Screw this guy, I guess. John makes Finch a bump key, which you can use to break into any apartment in the building, which I guess is supposed to stop all of our questions for the rest of the episode. How do you get into this person's apartment? Bump key. They can just do that now, just like they had that camera footage they needed. Storytelling. Let's check in on Carter, just starting her morning when she notices that there are several guys in a large unmarked van right outside her house. She immediately starts banging on the side of the van, which summons Mark Snow. He wants to know where she was last night, when they both went to corner John Reese in an attempt to reel him in, only for Mark's idiot partner to shoot him in the stomach at the slightest sign of resistance. Somehow John, severely wounded, got away, and they want to know if she saw anything. She didn't see anything. Leave her alone. She'll call you if she hears anything, which is a lie. Mark tells a couple of guys to follow her, but she is eerily good at losing tails, and she's going to track down Finch because she's talked to that guy before in episode 4, Tensely Woven Story Structure. They really explain the shit out of everything. It's intense. Like, did you realize they made sure John got shot in the leg, so it explains why he's in a cast for their old movie reference? He's not answering, because the phone was disconnected, obviously. That cover identity was from like 7 episodes ago, but she follows the phone signal to the place it was disconnected, a random street corner with a payphone. This was all part of Finch's plan though, as he calls her on the payphone and waves her over. He was having dinner at this fancy restaurant and fails to explain exactly what his deal is.
You're gonna have to tell me something. Like, who the hell are you? And what exactly is going on here?
When I was 9 years old, my brothers decided I needed to learn to swim, so they tossed me into the...
He does see something in Carter though, and tells her about a number, Derek Watson, unemployed loser, who might be up to something. Carter is skeptical, but agrees to keep an eye on him anyway, and does catch him in an act of violence and arrests him, which I guess means she's now on board. There's also a C-plot, a flashback to the early days of the machine, as Finch's friend Nathan is being grilled by the government about that damn machine they promised they were working on. And Nathan tells him that he has results. Here is a social security number. Maybe look this guy up. Turns out that guy was selling secrets to a foreign government, and the government really wants to know how they knew that. We are told how they knew that, and it doesn't wash for me. Seems like an incredible leap of logic for a magical fortune-telling machine. It was able to notice that this guy was driving to a random parking lot a few times a month, and every time he did so, another vehicle showed up like 40 minutes later, and this was enough for the machine to identify him as a dangerous, murderous spy. Seems like a leap, but I'm not a magic AI. Nathan decides to tell the government people about the machine, and we see something interesting here. During the meeting, we keep cutting away to machine vision, and when the G-Men walk in, they have white boxes. Then Nathan tells him that his company has designed this magical machine, and their boxes turn yellow. So there we go. Definitive proof that the yellow box means people who are aware of the machine's existence. It does not explain the next part, where this guy, Weeks, makes a comment.
I suppose I don't have a choice.
And the machine decides that this guy is sus, red box time, this man is a terrorist, and instantly titles its concern to Finch, who is also concerned about Weeks.
I know.
What's even happening here? Does the machine have intuition? Is it psychic? How does it know Weeks is a character we need to be concerned about? Oh, because it dictates the plot? Alright, can't wait to talk about Weeks again in a few episodes. Maybe he gets exploded somehow. Love when guys get exploded on TV. It's always so over the top. Also of note, we learn the company sold the machine to the government for $1, on the condition they never try to crack it open. It remains a black box. What did you put in there, Harold? Why don't you want anyone looking too closely at your machine, Harold? Did you put an orphan in there?
What the hell is this thing made out of?
Nothing.
Come on.
All right, fine. I might have used a few unorthodox parts.
Just tell me one.
An orphan.
A what?
An orphan?
Did you say an orphan?
Yeah, a little orphan boy.
Anyway, let's get back to the A-plot, which is really quite thin. They eventually figure out that this woman is being stalked, and for a long time they think Trask is doing it, because he tries to threaten her boyfriend's life. But in fact, that's not her boyfriend, that's her stalker. And after threatening Ernie's life if he doesn't leave, he explains that there's been a misunderstanding. He is also a vigilante trying to prevent a dangerous situation from playing out, and they all need to get up to that woman's apartment because the stalker is making his move. This must have been so scary, being physically threatened by this real creep who broke into your apartment, only to discover that 3 other men have also broken into your home and fought in your hallway. You'd absolutely have to move. So John defenestrates this bastard. But he survives. The cops are here. Everything is fine now. Also turns out Ernie Trask was not lying about being a big player in Miami. He did own several nightclubs as well as a Jaguar, but went to witness protection after turning on the Cuban mafia, and that's not how witness protection works. He would absolutely be getting yelled at for talking about his past so openly and getting involved in domestic disputes. But hey, it's cute, kinda, maybe. I think that's all that happened. I do like the scene where Finch opens up a vent to install a camera and there was already one in there. John broke the sink with a hammer. Carter stole this guy's jacket.
PD, I need a jacket now.
You're requisitioning my jacket?
Yeah, that's all. Next episode, a young spunky lawyer is in trouble when she stumbles across a foster care scheme, and John punches this guy in the face. He deserved it. You are being watched.
You are being watched.